Alright, y'all, so now let's talk about the moon, aka your moon sign, or just the moon in general. So, in the last video, I talked about the sun sign, which is the masculine energies, what you externalize, the frequency, the image, the idea. So, that's what the spirit did, created a mind to externalize and then internalize. And the internalize is the emotional counterpart of the mentality. So is the mentality becoming dense and creating a reality, a desire, based on what it's externalizing, and whatever it's externalizing, that frequency becomes dense, and it picks up density and becomes vibrations. So if there's a lot of concentrated frequency thoughts and ideas on a perspective, then that perspective can become dense and become reality. It's the same thing we're doing with how we're operating. We're using our mind to focus, to become aware, to see perspectives, ideas, concepts. And when we concentrate hard enough on those things, and whatever we desire and choose, these things become desires. And it can become heavy and dense if we care about it a lot, aka our emotions. So our desires is our emotions. They're all connected. It's connected. So however we feel about our situations, people, places, and things, how we connect, how we conduct ourselves, what we focus on, and that affects our vibrations and the ability to connect and feel. I think I said that already, but yeah, it deals with the vibrations, the emotions, your soul, the vibe. It's all the same thing, better lack of words. So to go a little bit more deeper, it's how we have sex in the spirit realm before it becomes physical. So your spirit created, your spirit is no thing, no shape or form. It had to come from nothing to become something. So it created mind to externalize in, and when you externalize, you internalize, and you create that image and reality, a moving object, a vibration. Now, this is how masculine and feminine is playing out spiritually first before it becomes physically. So the frequency, the mind, the idea to externalize is the masculine part. When it internalizes, going into something, first externalize the image, then you go into that image, which is internalizing. That's how it's creating a loop, a cycle, and spiritually before it becomes physically. So it starts spinning, becomes a wheel, it becomes a desire, it becomes heavy, it becomes fluid and dense. So we're doing this mentally first. So the emotions, the vibrations represents the womb, to go into something, to fulfill a desire and give birth to something new. So that's what the moon represents in all levels of reality. When you see the moon up there, that's a reflection of the earth. People might say and might think differently about the moon, and we all used to be indoctrinated by the same information that space is something you can travel and the moon is something you can land on. But they even told that the moon landing was fake and nobody got into space ever. So it's like y'all choose to be just not intelligent. But that's another video. But everybody has a different perception of the moon based on indoctrination, basically. But there's a few of us that knows the truth. And so yeah, the moon is not something you can land on. It's a reflection of the earth. It's what our reality is showing us. So it's to keep track on how existence really is and how life really is if you're really in tune and you follow the moon cycles. So it's like God slash nature, yourself is actually trying to show yourself that we're moving and we're moving and evolving and going into different spaces and locations while expanding. Like we see that in nature all the time, spring all the way to fall, I mean winter. But yeah, it's showing us a cycle, and like, you know, it's right in front of our faces. But yeah, the earth is a reflection. I mean, the moon is a reflection of the earth when the sun is behind the earth at a certain angle, and, you know, reflecting and casting upon the light. But yeah, the moon is supposed to represent your emotional tides. When we see the cycle of the moon, that we can feel our emotional state change towards a full moon, where it becomes more sensitive. So if you keep track of the moon every month, you should be able to tell that your emotions become more sensitive as the moon becomes more full. So it's important to keep track of our mentalities and emotional states and vibrations and be more aligned with the moon. But yeah, I also forgot to mention that our vibrational fluids is what's tied to this reality. It's all connected, and this is how we manifested our reality through externalizing and internalizing, which is the womb, our desires, you know, being accumulated into dense fluids and becoming physical and practical. So these are mentalities becoming dense and vibrational fluids, and we see that aspect of fluid in all realms of reality when it comes to water, you know, even solid becoming solidified within fluid frequency, mentalities, practicality, and becoming hard and dense. And air is the lightest fluid, closest associated with, you know, thinking and communicating, the ether aspect of that realm, lighter in density type shit. But yeah, there's different many types of layers of fluid vibrations becoming dense, and this is our desires becoming physical in reality from the mind as a spirit. So yeah, it gets deep, but I guess that's all I have.